Already in a market that we're really kind of undersupplied. The global market for oil is about 100 million barrel a day market. Iran exports 1.4 million barrels a day. So if you're going to take that off the market, that's a big deal. We're going to have to find how to replace that. And there's a lot of upside to oil still if that gap remains.
And why, John, is it that we're so tight in terms of the supply picture when we've talked so much about how the U.S. has caught up and contributing in a big way to the oil supply picture?
Two words for you: Saudi Arabia. They've worked hard to cut back, to reduce supplies, them, the Russians, UAE, a couple of others within OPEC, and it's worked. They've also had help from the implosion at Venezuela and those sort of fragile producers we talk about like Nigeria and now Libya being in focus.
So why do you think the administration has acted now when the president repeatedly tweets trying to kind of push the gasoline price lower? He knows people are feeling it at the pump. Why would they make this action knowing that it's going to push up crude prices? Is it because that pressure should be short-lived, or do they think it's just important enough that we have to take the consequences of it?
Well, I think this is a clear victory for the hardliners within the Trump administration, John Bolton specifically. He's got a target on Iran, has for years, going back to the George W. Bush administration. He wanted these waivers gone. He wanted zero to mean zero. And that's what he's getting. Given where Saudi Arabia is, though, it's interesting if they've really done the math and the calculus, as Mike's referring to here. Saudi Arabia's got a ton of spare capacity, as do the Russians. So they finally figured out, I think, that they can take as much Iranian oil as they can off the market, and Saudi Arabia, if they're willing to, can fill the gap.
Do you expect that, Mike, to happen? So, again, if we're talking about people filling in the gap, that would seem to keep a cap on the oil price. But we just looked at some of the energy names today. A lot of these are up 3-4%.
Yeah, I do expect that to happen. I don't think Trump makes this move unless he has really assurances from Saudi that they could take the 9.8 million that they produced in March and take that up, at least to the levels that they're taking off the market, that 1.4 million from Iran.
So in that sense, the Halliburton investors are right to kind of shrug this off, right, Mike? If they say, well, all right, let's think this through. The barrels that are coming off from Iran will be replaced by other suppliers. So maybe the price spike that we see today is short-lived, but we have gone up 45% this year. You think that they're right when they say, look, we think that this is now, we're not, is it going to keep going?
Yeah, I think investors right now have seen a lot of carnage over the last 5 years. So they're a little bit, they're reticent before they, claim victory here and pile back into the space. But, John went over the stats there, and it is a totally different market. I think a lot more bullish of a market than we've seen in quite some time.